You ever notice how the one thing you're desperately worried about, the thing you fear the most, somehow it always seems to find a way of showing up in your life? It's maddening, right? And honestly, a little scary. Well, it turns out this isn't just bad luck. This is an ancient observation written down thousands of years ago, and it points to a really wild, counterintuitive truth. Your fear, well, it's actually a super powerful creative force. But what if you could actually control that force? You see, back in 1908, the world's first billionaire, Andrew Carnegie, shared the secret behind his entire philosophy, and it explains exactly why this happens. So you're going to want to stick with me, because at the very end, we're going to unlock the key to finally mastering this law for yourself. Okay, so let's get right into it. The big problem we all face is that we keep getting results we don't want. We try hard, we mean well, but we still end up dealing with the same old stuff. And it's because there's this impartial, invisible law that's always working. And most of us, we're using it by default. I mean, it makes you wonder, right? Why is it that a split second of worry seems to have way more creative power than hours of trying to think positively? What is it about these negative thoughts that gives them such a death grip on our reality? Well, the reason is we're not just dealing with our own thoughts. We're dealing with a fundamental creative law of the universe. It's not good, it's not bad, it just is. Kind of like gravity. And getting how it works is the absolute first step to taking back the controls. And listen, this is not some new age idea. It's got this fascinating history. It really kicks off back in 1908 when Andrew Carnegie took a young Napoleon Hill under his wing. Hill, of course, went on to write the legendary Think and Grow Rich. But at the same time, science was starting to catch on to this idea that we're basically beings of energy. In fact, by the 1930s, this thing called Kirlian photography was invented, and it could literally take a picture of the energy field surrounding a person. Wild stuff. And this right here, this is the absolute heart of Carnegie's secret. He said, any idea that is held in the mind, that's emphasized, that's either feared or revered, will begin at once to clothe itself in the most convenient and appropriate form available. You get that? The law doesn't care if you love the idea or hate it. It just responds to what you focus on and the emotion you attach to it. So here's the kicker. Just imagine the creative energy of the universe is totally neutral. It's just there. So whether you're constantly thinking about an idea with fear and doubt, or you're holding that same idea with excitement and desire, you're giving it power either way. You're basically telling that energy what to build. The law doesn't judge. It just creates whatever idea is most dominant in your mind. Now, there's a name for this process, the law of perpetual transmutation. It just means that energy is always moving into physical form. So think of it like this. There's this pure, formless energy flowing to you and through you 24/7, and it's basically looking for a blueprint. Your job is to give it that blueprint with the images you hold in your mind. Okay, so let's shift gears to the solution, because this is where it gets really good. You are not a victim of this law. Not at all. You are meant to be its director. This is how you stop being a product of your circumstances and you start becoming the cause of them. That invisible energy that's constantly flowing into your mind, it's basically like a block of clay. It's just pure potential. And you, yes, you have the power to consciously and deliberately shape that clay into a mental image of exactly what you want to create. And the process, it's actually pretty simple. It boils down to 3 steps. First, you build the image. You have to get super crystal clear on what you actually want, not what you're afraid of. Second, you internalize it with emotion. Don't just see yourself being successful, feel it. What does that joy, that relief, that pride actually feel like in your body? That emotion is the gas in the tank. And finally, you plant that emotionalized image deep down into your subconscious mind. Just think about the Wright brothers for a second. Everything in their physical, logical world screamed that a heavy machine made of wood and metal could never fly. But they held that image of flight. They felt it. They let this universal law govern their actions, not their current reality. They literally did something that was totally illogical, and because of that, they created a whole new reality for all of us. So, all of this brings us right back to that secret we talked about at the beginning, the key that Andrew Carnegie knew and the one piece that almost everybody misses. The key was actually written down thousands of years ago. It says, "As a person thinketh in their heart, so are they." Now, I want you to pay very close attention to that one word, heart.
And here it is. The big secret is that this isn't about what you just think. See, the ancient Greeks, whose ideas shaped so much of our world, used the word heart as a metaphor for what we now call the subconscious mind.
So here's the bottom line. The thing you have to get. You don't become what you just casually think about. You become what you successfully plant deep in your subconscious, in your heart. Your entire physical reality, everything you see around you, is nothing more than a printout of the program that's running deep inside you.
So there you have it. The law is always on. It's always working. The only real question left is, what are you telling it to create? So for today's question, what is one clear, powerful, emotional idea that you are going to consciously choose to plant in your heart, starting this week? Go ahead and drop your answer in the comments. Let's hear what you're building.